Hi, this is Zach Meir with the Bulletin Board Heroes here at Zach's Traders Cafe for Friday the 21st of March. Starting off with the FTSE 100, which has peaked out through 87.50 during the week and is heading back towards that 50-day line, now around the 86.30 level. That also ties in with the low end of the range in that zone, and obviously we're looking for a break of the 87.50 zone to take us to retest this month's record levels through 8900. Big picture is we're up to the top of the channel there from the end of 2023, as high as 90.70 now by the end of next month as a best case scenario target. The disappointment would be we broke back below the 50-day line and had to test the March support area around 8500 one more time. RSI at neutral 50, so not much to glean from that. Moving on to the situation at the DAX, and here we did have a pullback, and it's an ongoing pullback towards the floor of that rising trend channel from November. The level in question around 22,600. RSI has also come back towards the neutral 50 level, so got a risk of having to test the low end of the range and the 50-day moving average towards 22,100, even if this market then heads higher and hits the top of the channel at 24,000. Next up is the Dow, and here certainly been a bit of a struggle, but the struggle, I suppose, in a reasonable place in the sense that we're trading near the rising 200-day line, 41,900. Want to see a proper end-of-week close above that to give us a rebound potentially back to the floor of the broken channel there from March last year, around 43,000 by the end of this month. Otherwise, we've got the risk of a retest of the 41,000 area over the next week or two. Moving on to Bitcoin, where it's still, it's entertainment really, in the sense that we had news that somebody sold $332 million worth of Bitcoin at 84,000. We had a little spike towards 87,000. We don't know whether the shorter is in or out, but floor of the channel there at 80,500. While we're above that, there's the chance of a move back to the 90,000 area, just near the 50-day moving average at 91,000. On the downside, if we do break that 80,000 zone, then 73 to 74,000 is the favored destination. Moving on to gold, where people have been gushing about its push through the 3,000 level, looking for as much as 3,200 by the end of next month if we maintain the trajectory within this rising trend channel, and if we stay above the old February resistance, 29.70 to 80, but at the moment it does look as though there's a little bit more upside left in this market. On to the stocks, and not many of them today. We've got Cora, though, which has been absolutely stunning in the recent past. I think the Mali government unsuspending licenses was the trigger there. The first target here was 3 3/4. The second one, which looked rather optimistic, was 6 pence and above 6 pence. Looking for up to 10 pence, which is that resistance line projection from early 2022. And we're looking for that by the end of next month while we stay above the 6 pence zone. Rather horrible rug pull at Ferrexpo, courtesy of the Ukrainians. But what's interesting here is that we gapped down through the 200-day moving average, one of the scenarios that we were actually fearing. We've had RSI failures and a bull trap through with the 80 pence area ahead of today's breakdown. What's interesting now is that we've got that uptrend line there from September. That's at 61 pence. So if you're a keen trader in this, you'll be looking for that to be the bounce level and then take the shares back up again. Otherwise, it's an end-of-day close back above the 200-day line there at 69 pence, which would be the momentum trigger for people who want to go long the stock. But we're not expecting anything worse than 61 pence, whatever happens. Moving on to Guardian Metal, which has been one of the finest small cap situations of the last couple of years. Rising trend channel here. We've had this in the channel for quite some time. Top of the channel there heading for 50 pence, which we're looking for by the end of next month, while we remain above last month's resistance at 37 pence, but it seems to be set fair at Guardian. Stock which rather pulled the rug from people during the week, but is back today, is Predator. Maybe people are out of this in the sense that anyone who wanted to get out has already got out. But interesting here, we've got an element of bullish divergence there. and from the oversold area, so maybe the shares can at least get back up to the 3.8 to 4 pence area, which was the initial March support area. Best case at the moment is 5 pence plus at the top of that February triangle. Moving along to Phoenix Copper, where I suppose we're always expecting some big news, and hence it's always worth looking at the situation on that basis. An end-of-day close above the 50-day line today at 4.2 pence. We could be looking at his best-case scenario target towards 8 at the top of that broadening triangle from back in the end of November. But the key here is that once I kind of suspects that people buying the stock at the moment are anticipating long-awaited funding news. We looked at Sosander a while ago, or a few days ago perhaps, and here we've got this broadening triangle base, top of the triangle heading for 10 pence, and we're looking for that, especially while we're above recent support around the 7.5 pence area. Got the 50-day line starting to rise now as well, so that suggests that the shares are ready for another push to the upside, and that this is a mid-move consolidation. Finishing off with the Westminster Group, which has been remarkably steady in terms of its performance in the recent past. Had the unfilled gap to the upside. It's a bear trap gap reversal, one of our favourite setups. We're staying above the top of that falling trend channel there at 1.65 pence, and the longer we do that, the better the chance of a move to 2.7 pence by the end of next month, which is the top of a broadening triangle from last summer. That's it for me today. More updates over the weekend.